Well, hello, hello, hello. I hope you all are having a super duper fantastic day. Y'all know what day it is? It's Friday. It's my day, and I'm live at 5. Hey, I'm live at 5. Hey, it's Friday. It's my day, and I'm live at 5. Come on, inside of the StreamYard room. Yes, it's Friday. It's my day, and I'm live at 5. So, this conversation that we're having today is all about you're off more than you're on, right? You're off more than you are on. And what do I mean by that? What do I want to talk about when I say that you're off more than you're on? Well, it's basically the way that you live life. I had an opportunity to go to DC yesterday. I was there all day, woke up 4 a.m., got my got in my car or got my Uber at maybe 5, got there at 6, and I spent my day there, right? I had to do execute a meeting, and I came back today, of course, resting up during the morning, didn't really schedule anything, so I have an opportunity to rest, right, from the rough day that I had, the long day that I had. It wasn't actually rough. It was just a long day. Put it in the chat. You're off more than you are on, right? And the whole thing that I started thinking about was how many days do I actually spend in my life coasting, right? Like no intentionality, not really um, creating anything or developing anything or doing anything purposeful or meaningful throughout my day. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Like we all should have rest. We all should have times when we relax. But my question is, are you off more than you're on? And when you take a look at your life, at the things that you've accomplished, the successes that you had, the lives that you've been able to touch, the things that you've been able to grow, cultivate, develop, are you happy with what it is that you see? Do you feel like you're actually living life? And I say all this to say is that it's going to take something in order for you to leave this world having created the life that you wanted, having lived the life that you wanted. It's not going to happen by accident. You're not going to be able to coast your way there. You may look at your life and say, oh, it's been pretty good. But you do get that if you do these things that I'm going to tell you right now, that life could be much better. And when I say much better, I mean much, much better. So let's get into this conversation. If you are off more than you are on, the first thing that I want to tell you is I want you to live life intentionally. What do I mean by live life intentionally? Well, I'm actually saying that you got to plan some things out, that you actually got to know what it is that you want to create and things that you want to do and how you want to impact every day that you get up. Even if you are planning to rest or to chill or to kick back, right? Remember, I said I planned my day so that this morning I didn't have a lot scheduled. I could actually recuperate because I knew how long my day was going to be yesterday. And so I'm asking you today, the things that you got done, did you plan them? The things and the people that you've encountered today, were they meaningful and purposeful conversations and interactions, right? We've been talking about going for the goal. We've been talking about listening to serve. But in order to do those things, you have to be living life intentionally. And you're not doing that if you're not planning, if you have no foresight, if you don't know what you're creating, if you have no clarity on what it is that you want, if it's hard to make decisions, if you don't know whether you're going or coming, if you see nothing that you created or produced, you don't have success in any area of your life, from health to wealth to relationships. If you see this, and if those are things that you're saying, I'm charging you and I'm telling you, you're not living life intentional. Number two, the next thing that I want you to focus on or be connected to is that in order to realize when you're coasting, when you're not really living life intentionally, is awareness. Put it in the chat. Be aware. Like, you just have to have awareness, 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 awareness. And I get knowing doesn't make a difference, right? Put that in the chat. Knowing doesn't make a difference. But you want to actually be able to answer your questions that you may ask yourself, like, hey, did I spend my day wisely? Did I make a contribution? Did I do anything that I love? Was I able to talk to people that I cared about? Was I able to change a life today? Like, you have to be aware that life is moving on. You are actually living, but is it consciously? Are you aware that you're creating? Are you aware that you may be settling? Are you aware that you're not moving with momentum? You have no momentum. You kind of stuck. Like, are you aware that your conversations are the same week to week, month to month, year to year? Where's your level of awareness? And right now, I would ask you, put it inside the chat from a scale of 1 to 10. No, make the scale lower, 1 to 5. How aware are you consistently about how you're living your life and what you're doing and what you're creating, what you're dreaming for, what you're moving towards, the decisions that you made, the clarity that you have? Like, how aware are you? Or are you off more than you're on? That's just a question. I'm just putting it out there. I was just thinking, hey, this is what I do. Right? This is what I do. You know, being a coach, helping assist people with reaching their goals, having careers that they love, loving the life that they're living. You got to be paying attention. And you can't think that it's going to happen without you making an effort, you being intentional, you putting the work in. Number three, you need to be focused. Focused. Yep. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. You need to be focused. And in order for you to be focused means you have to have an aim. You have to be aware. You have to be intentional. You have to be moving towards something, you know, even if it's just better health, better relationships, more money, a career that you love, a clean environment, a new place to live, a new state or country that you want to live in, right? Like, whatever it is, what is it that you're focused on? Because see, when you have something to focus on, you become less distracted, because we're easily distracted by what people say, what they're doing, what we see on social media, what the news tell us, maybe even the conversation we have and what our friends tell us. But when you have your own goals, your own desires, your own dreams, and you're clear about when you want to achieve them and when you want those things to manifest in your life, you can remain focused on the actions that you need to take in order to manifest those things or to make those things happen. But if you have no goals, no dreams, no desires, no conversations that motivate you to move left or right, then what would you have to focus on? You could really just be meddling in other people's business and worried about what they're doing, too worried and too concerned about what they're doing, and inserting yourself in places and conversations that you don't need to. But when you're focused, you can actually look at your calendar and see what spare time you actually have to be given to other things that don't align with what it is that you're doing. And for some of us, we may say we don't want to live that structure, but do you get structure gives you more time? Do you get when you're focused on doing the things that you need to do, it allows you to do more of the things that you want to do, like paying your bills on time, like actually honoring the commitments that you have, or when you say doing what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it, right? Just being absolutely clear, being in integrity, right? Actually being focused on what you're saying that you want. Because we do know whatever it is, it's going to take effort and it's going to take time. I'm going to leave you with this one thing. I was looking at this dancer online. I think his name is Kida the Great, Kida. And I went back and I started watching like all the videos I can find. And I know that I saw him dancing maybe as young as maybe 9 or 10. And I want to say he's probably in his 20s now, maybe early 20s. Maybe. He might not even be that old. But what I saw was that he was doing this for a while. It's been his focus, his dream, his passion, his desire for a while. And he's been on social media posting videos for a while and choreographing different steps for a while, right? But it took until now for me to see him everywhere, all the places. All I'm saying is, whatever that dream is, whatever that thing you want to create before you leave here, because for some of us, we're closer to the end than the beginning. Whatever it is that you want to create, you want to leave for your family or your children, the conversations you want to have, the spaces that you want to be in, the events that you want to be invited to. Are you living your life intentionally? Are you aware of what's happening around you? And are you actually focused on the things that you talk about? So look, I'm committing myself to being more committed to the life that I want. And I do find myself and believe that I am a very committed, focused person, but there's more in the tank. There's more that I even want to see for myself this year. And in order for those things to show up, I got to be intentional about how I'm spending my days. I got to be super duper aware of what's happening around me, the things that I'm creating with my words, the things that's showing up in my life that I can say yes or no to. And I also have to be focused on the things that matter to me most. Because when I actually focus on the things that matters to me most, it sharpens my habits, the practice of my habits. It sharpens my time and how I spend my time. And it actually streamlines what I say yes and what I say no to. So look, it's Friday is my day. Maybe this was kind of heavy for a Friday. Maybe this was a typical Wednesday conversation, but I had time to think. And you know, when we have time to think, we tend to have epiphanies and things that could help other people. And I hope that this conversation today helps you. And it helps you focus and live life intentionally and be aware and focus on something that you really want to create in this world that'll make a difference to you and the people that you care about. Always looking forward to serving you. I'll see you next week live Monday, Wednesday, Friday. At what time? I'm live at 5. Hey,